organizational committee for inviting me to speak and for allowing me to speak to such a wonderful assembly of devotees. Gaur Sankirtan Prabhu from Croatia, I contacted him and told him I'm in Gita Nagari. He almost melted. He said, oh, I was there, it was so wonderful, devotees are so loving. And every day I'm getting more and more evidence of this. And I'm getting so impressed and attached. So, in this verse starts a series of verses which explain the mood of Srimati Radharani. And the mood of Srimati Radharani, although it is very high and almost unreachable for us now, it is also very practical. And I'll try to explain how. This is Lord Chaitanya speaking in the mood of Radharani, and he goes on with verses which are even stronger than this one. This is quite a statement to say that let my distress be Krishna's happiness, and I will be happy. So there is other verses which are even more shocking, especially for the ladies, because he's speaking in the mood of Radharani, and she's a lady, the topmost lady. She's saying in one of the next verses, she's defeating all the feelings of jealousy, just throwing them away. She says, if Krishna is happy with another gopi, I'm going to become her maidservant. Can you imagine this in the material world? There was one lady, I don't know her name, but there is a story when she made arrangement that her husband enjoys with a prostitute. Who was this lady, you remember? Very famous Vaishnavi. So this is very rare in this world. So she is teaching us. I remember in '82 when for the first time when I read Shikshashtaka in the first canto and the introduction of the first canto, and I read the 8th verse, I thought, wow, this is amazing. How can someone say something like this? Ashlishava padaratam pinashtumam adarshanam marmahatam karotuva yata tata vavidada tulampato mat prananatastu saiva naupara. My dear Lord, you can do whatever you like. You can embrace me, you can crush me, you can leave me, but you always remain my Lord. This is unconditional love. Unconditional love. So if you want to be really happy, we have to come to that point of unconditional giving, unconditional love. This is how the soul can be happy. Because it is our Sanatana Dharma to be a servant, to be a giver. This is how we fulfill our purpose. This is how we fulfill our existence. This is how we fulfill ourselves. In the material world, conception is that you will be happy if you are selfish, if you step over others, and so on. But actually, the most selfish thing that you can do is to become selfless. Because it is in your own interest. It is your own topmost interest. People who are getting things, in the Western society we have a concept of go-getter. Go and get things. But we want to develop a concept of go-giver. One who goes and gives something. I read one book which was written by a Christian and a Sufi. Christian and a Muslim. They synergistically sat together and wrote the book called The Power of Giving. Amazing book. I have it. I can send it to you electronically. They used to have it on their website, and then they figured that they might sell it. So they started selling it. I snatched it before they started selling it, so I have it. If you want to read it. The Power of Giving. So they give an example of the African refugees. Sometimes in African countries there is unrest. People have to, escape from their country over the border, go to other people, to other villages. And so in another country, there was villagers who were very poor. Poor families, like many people living in one hut, sharing very little food every day. But these people, although so poor, they were so selfless that when new refugees came, you have like 6 people in one room living, and they accept another 6 people in the same room so that they can have a roof above their head and share whatever food they have. So they have nothing and share half, and everybody survives. So this is one example from the material world of selflessness. So I'm sure, because you are all such nice devotees, that you have experienced the taste of giving. You have, you want to share, we want to give, and Bhakti-tirtha Maharaj taught us to be selfless by his example. So I'm sure you have some taste for selflessness and for giving, but my proposition is that we have to expand it 108 times, if possible. And today we can pray to Srimati Radharani to develop this mood of unconditional giving. So what is unconditional giving? Unconditional giving is giving without expecting anything in return. So parents know this. They're forced to do this. You don't know if children reciprocate, but because you love them, you're going to give your whole life. You don't, my mother, she's also like for 50 years, she just giving. I feel so embarrassed last few years. I finally realized how much he's giving to me. And by the way, my mother's name is Radha. That's a Serbian name, Serbian female name. And I asked Krishna Kshetra Prabhu, what will happen to my father, because he's always calling Radha, Radha, bring me sweets, bring me this, bring me that. And then he said, he will go back to Godhead, definitely. Actually, my father last summer, my father is a teacher of psychology, high school teacher of psychology. But even though being a teacher of psychology, last summer he got depressed. So I told him, I have a wonderful cure for depression, it's japa. And he chanted his first round last summer. I was so happy. So apart from chanting Radha Radha, he's also chanting Hare Krishna. And he's realizing some aspects of Vedic psychology. So if you read this section, which is from the 55th verse, and there is about 10-15 verses, you just cannot sleep peacefully anymore. Because this is what we should attain. This is the end of Antya Lila. This is the top of tops. This is our ultimate goal. And so Srimati Radharani is our topmost teacher, and she's teaching us this unconditional giving to Krishna and to everybody else. So you have so many people to practice unconditional giving on, because so many people are needy. They're, financially needy, they're emotionally needy, they have a need for food. And you can give, and they will receive. Sometimes they always complain to me in a coaching session, I'm giving so much in nothing. I don't get anything. But actually, if you are Krishna conscious, you get so much internal reward from the Lord that you don't need any external material reward if you give like this. So, this is like the highest mood of Lord Chaitanya. He's experiencing this mood of Srimati Radharani when she is just mad after Krishna. She's mad. She's ready to do anything. How many of you have fallen in love, but up to your, above your head, not up to your neck, but more than that? How many of you have fallen in love like that? I know you're shy, but just for the sake of practice, exercise. For the sake of exercise, okay. Mainly ladies. Falling in love. This was the best one. Mataji, I give you a garland later. This was so good. I like it. You know what she did? Not everybody has seen it. Can I share? Can I? Yeah? So what she did, she actually took the hand of her beloved husband and raised it up to her. So now how do we apply it to our everyday life? If you have a community like this, it's not so difficult. You can apply it. And my recommendation is start with people you like, because it's easier. Start giving to people you like, start giving service, start giving gifts. Because you already like them, it's not so difficult for you to give to them. But when you become more practiced and more advanced in giving to the people you like, we will have a more difficult task. Start giving to those you don't like. Maybe you don't have such people, you're maybe such a nice person, but if you have such people, it will be a challenge. But you can take it as a challenge for your intelligence, for your spiritual advancement. And see. And if you do this, if you stretch like this, you will make spiritual advancement. If you go over your limits and practice giving like this, you can start your day with a wonderful question: what can I give today? And to whom can I give today? You can start like that. And then I'm sure you will have so many customers. Sometimes, we do something, in courses, I get up and I have a picture of Krishna. Let's take this, actually. Is that a picture of Krishna? I take a picture of Krishna and I say, who wants Krishna? Oops. This is my lecture. And the devotees say, I want. I say, I don't believe you. And then they say, what do you mean? I want. And so many want something. So many want Krishna or want something. So many people, you will have people who would like to take something from you if you want to practice giving. So there will be no lack of people. Of course, this is an exercise for them I'm testing them how badly do they want it. So some of them get it. Almost at every seminar, at least one person gets it and they jump and grab it. But many people want, but they don't move. They don't, get up from the chair. So if you want something, get up and get it. Don't wait. Don't just want it, but do something to get it. But that's another point. So by thinking about giving, by reading about giving, by reading such sections from the scriptures, or reading examples of devotees, we can become inspired to give and develop this mood of Srimati Radharani. There was a devotee called, I think, Devi Deva or Deva Deva, Prabhupada disciple. I think he's from Pennsylvania, Philadelphia or Chicago. And many years ago, he was given a grant from the government for Food for Life. He was doing Food for Life. Very successful, getting a lot of grants because he was working, he was doing things with other devotees. And at one point, they gave him, he had too much money. And you know what he did? He returned it. He said, we have enough, you take it back. They got so much trust in him, the next time he got much more of a grant. So, these kind of examples can inspire us to develop this giving spirit. And of course, His Holiness Bhakti-tirtha Swami was an amazingly giving person. And he came to my country, which is Serbia. And then when I was translating Prabhupada's books, I went to the National Library. They still have the books he distributed. And I translated from those books into our language, Prabhupada's books. Bhagavatams, he distributed sets to those libraries in the 70s. He took risk. He took risk to preach in these communist countries in the 70s. It was dangerous. Sometimes they arrest you, throw you away. But he did it. And he preached in other countries also. So he broke the ground there and, these books reached many, many people. Later on he came as a GBC and he was also taking disciples from that area. And when I got to know about him, it was through his Leadership 1 book. And I was so amazed that there is someone like this, because I was studying also professional literature leadership, when I discovered that there is a senior devotee, leader in our movement, who wrote a leadership book, which is relevant for people not only in ISKCON but everywhere. It's universal. I felt such a huge breath of fresh air, and I thought, wow, this is amazing. This is how I got to communicate with him, and then publish in my Leadership Excellence electronic journal some of the texts. And then, he was also another example of giving, is that one devotee, he was jumping salto, salto mortale, salto, when you jump in the water and then you do, how you call it?
Somersaults.
Something like that. So he was doing this into Jamuna. So this was not very good. So what happened? He broke his neck, and he remained paralyzed. I think he's walking a little bit now, but after many years, but still not walking. So when he was in a very bad shape, we needed money for his treatment. And I asked Maharaj, do you know anybody who can help? And he really, really helped. He sent a few $100, and I think maybe some of you have given that money. His name is Chedi Prabhu, and Maharaj just, and I thought, this is amazing. When Maharaj is just not giving me just advice, he's sending us money. It's amazing. So I thought, this is leadership. This is leadership in action. This is care for people. So just his whole communication and whatever he does, and how he was caring about children and women, and he told me once he was very unpopular in one continent where he exposed some of the child abusers, and they wanted to kick him out, but he continued, and he was very determined, like a spiritual warrior, to fight for the right thing. And so he was very protective. Personally, he helped me a lot, me and my family also, and especially when I was making big decisions about where to work and what to do, and helped me, get a good direction in my life. And his leadership preaching was so inspiring. And then when the second leadership book came, it was so wonderful, so amazing. I have been reading the Executive Excellence magazine, which is published in Utah by people who find the best experts and publish their articles. Ken Shelton is the editor-in-chief. I think these people are Mormons. They're quite pious. And Maharaj also, his article was published in that magazine. And for some time, he subscribed me to that magazine. He was paying for my subscription, and I was reading it. And that's how I knew about Ken Shelton. And then Ken Shelton wrote a foreword for Maharaj's second leadership book. And it was amazing. He was mentioning all these big leadership experts and said, but Swami, he's better than them. He's going deeper, he's going higher, he's explaining leadership more deeply than those, like Kavi or Blanchard, Ken Blanchard and others. And it was amazing. I think Krishna inspired Ken Shelton to glorify Maharaj, because Maharaj deserves it. When I saw this, I was, this was one of the most joyous days in my Krishna consciousness when I saw this. Because it's like connecting two worlds, professional and spiritual, and finally these people who should appreciate devotees are appreciating at least one devotee from our movement who is working so much for the benefit of the movement, but also for the benefit of the world. And he was a very bold preacher. He would risk his life, go to Africa, different dangerous places, and, just to please Srila Prabhupada. Before he passed away, I had a strong feeling that he's going to go where Srila Prabhupada is. I had that similar feeling with Tamal Krishna Maharaj. And then I heard that there were some other devotees who had some similar either dreams or visions. And when I wrote him about it, he just said, it was towards the very end of his life, he just said, whatever Prabhupada wants, I'll go wherever he wants. But I somehow had that feeling, so I don't know if it's true, but I had a strong feeling that he's going there, he will be with him and help him in preaching wherever Prabhupada is preaching. So he had this amazing preaching spirit to help people, and all of his books are really, really permeated with devotee care. And Srimati Radharani is the greatest carer of devotees. She is the protector of devotees, she is the Divine Mother. And he exemplifies the mood of Srimati Radharani. Like, he's like a father, but also Maharaj is like a mother. He's like both parents. I had that feeling, like he's like two parents. Like both father, he can be strict, but also he's very loving. Like, you know, like Prabhupada said, you should have a courage of a British soldier and the heart of a Gita Nagari mother. Pennsylvania, not Pennsylvania, devotees. So, and he was like this, and you know, I would see him cry, and even I made him cry once. It was not very nice of me, but he swallowed it and forgave me. But you know, he always, when he wrote me, always asked me, how is your family and how your daughter, and like that. And so you know, what is preached to us, but he don't have to speak even. You can see that he really, really cares. Just as he looks at you, you know he really cares about me, even if I'm like a new person in his life. So then, you know, his books, amazing warrior books, leadership books also. I didn't read many of the beggar books and reflections. I read some of them, but I read leadership books and most of the warrior books. And these were like, you know, like dissertations and elaborations, like, you know, Vedic psychology. And there's 2 books about the mind. And it's so good to see that the devotee is presenting it from the also Vedic point of view. So, if you just think of him, it's very difficult to remain selfish and to be a person who doesn't care. Because just by thinking of him, we can remember his mood of care for devotees. Not only his disciples, but everybody. I never felt, you know, like I'm not initiated by him. I just felt that he cares for every devotee, whether his disciples or not, in the same way. And he would instruct everyone in the same way, and he would, you know, invest energy in the same way, and give them time and darshan. And just saw I mean, with him, I can really see that ISKCON is a big family. And everybody belongs to that family, not only these people or those people. So, I want to share 2 things from his teachings, and if I, you know, have time, I want to also speak a little bit about the 4 principles of community that I promised. Maharaj mentioned once, Bhakti-Vasudeva Maharaj mentioned one of those, and this is to treat everyone as you treat the person you love the most. To think of everyone. This is one of these 4, so he already explained it, but I can speak about 3 others. But before that, I want to mention 2 things that impressed me the most from the Leadership 1 book. And it influenced me very much. And also it's influencing up to this day my service of devotee assistance, assisting devotees, or helping devotees succeed. So these principles are, can you guess? Krishnanandini, can you guess? What impressed me the most from the Leadership 1 book? I think you can guess. Or maybe your husband can guess. But try, no, together. Don't just delegate to him. You have to do it too.
Well, probably that he's able to take the teaching of Krishna consciousness and put them on such a practical, doable way to bring up the whole way we thought about being a leader.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, that's in general, but I have two specific things. You're right.
Okay.
That's in general. It's difficult to guess specific things, but I want to torture a little bit. Not only you, everybody. But I didn't call their name. So, what that could be? Yes, Mataji? You might know. You might know.
Now, are you speaking of the leadership principles or his principles for community living?
Leadership, from the leadership one.
Leadership one?
It's also in those summaries at the end. Yeah.
I think there was one where he said, consider if you have 6 months to live and to act that way.
Okay. Oh, that's powerful.
Anything that you need to do with it now, that was the one that I read.
Okay. That's a powerful one. Or it's not that one. Anyway, yes, somebody was here.
That the Krishna conscious principles in the book were communicated in a way that anybody can.
Well, that's in general. Yes, much.
So, if you're speaking about the 10 principles that he gave 10 principles in his first book. And one of those principles, I know that's very important for me, is compassion.
Okay.
So that principle of compassion. And the other one is perseverance. There's those two that...
Okay. Yeah, one of my two is one of those 10. One of my two is one of those 10. But the another one, I'm not sure if it's in this 10. No, it's not. It's just mentioned like this. But this one has to do also with you, with disciples. And one has to do with anybody, I think. So the first one is everything can be seen as a cry for love or an expression of love. This is something that I still don't understand. Maybe you can help me understand. I can maybe catch you later or something. But this is amazing when you can see everything like this. Then you will never become angry, even at demons. What to speak of ordinary people or devotees. You know, I want love, I want attention. And then expression of love. We have to develop that art, how we express love. Sometimes people express love through rudeness, which is not very nice, and it's not easy to recognize. But I'm angry at you because I care about you. Okay, but can you be a little softer? The second principle has to do with his team, with the disciples, and it's the principle of a loving coalition. Loving coalition. He said that behind this book of leadership is a loving coalition, and some of you know it because you were part of editing and preparing and promoting and marketing these books. And but he said that we all care about you, world leaders, and we are here to assist you. And this principle of loving coalition brought to my mind also the principle of collective care, which is the same thing, a loving coalition or collective care. And I was thinking, if in our movement we would have not one person caring for you, like your mentor or spiritual guide, but we have many people. Like, okay, one is officially in charge of you, taking care of you, not to control you, but to assist you, to help you, to serve you. And it's difficult enough to find such people to be spiritual guides and to form groups. I'm trying to do that. But imagine that not only your counselor, your spiritual guide cares about you, but all other spiritual guides, if we find them, they also, everybody is ready to serve you. This would be amazing. Like our children, you know, if not, like Maharaj mentioned, not only their parents, but everybody in the community thinks, this is also my child. And let me help them succeed, let me help them become equipped for life. So this kind of this principle, I think, will help us develop a very, very caring movement. Very caring movement. So you have this potential to soar, okay, to take off and to reach out into your heart, open it up, and start caring and giving more. I want to start my third part with a story of a, it's not vegetarian, chicken farmer. Is that okay? It's American native Indians story. Once there was a chicken farmer who was also a very passionate mountain climber. And one day he was climbing the mountain and he came upon a nest with 3 large eggs. And he was thinking, oh, these are such wonderful eggs. I would like to have one in my hen house. So, shall I take it? Conscience didn't allow him to take it. It was telling him it's unethical, it's legal, it's unecological. Don't do it. Couldn't resist. Put it in his bag. Climbed up, came down, put it in the hen house. The chicken hatched it, and after some time, a strange chicken came out. And she was very proud because this child was different than others. The chicken wasn't sure exactly how this strange-looking creature came, but she was happy because, like variety is the mother of enjoyment. So it's a different creature, different child. So he was living with chicken and flopping around the courtyard for many years, not flying. One day, this bird saw something in the sky and he was amazed. What is this? It's a poetry in motion. It's so beautiful. And he asked his sister chicken, what is this? Oh, this is the king of the sky, king of the birds. It's a golden eagle, and we have nothing to do with him. We just flop around this courtyard. And he was, when he saw this bird, something moved in his heart, something moved in his belly even. And he was confused with that feeling, so he wanted to find out. So somehow he heard this explanation that this is an eagle and we are chicken, and he just said, okay, we are chicken, this is an eagle. So he continued living as a chicken, and unfortunately he died as a chicken. Because this is all he thought he was. So what is it that we learn from this story? You tell me.
You are what you conceive and can achieve.
You are?
You are what you can conceive and achieve.
Okay.
You can conceive because that you don't.
Okay.
And then you strove to achieve that, you have found you could achieve that.
Yeah. So he had a potential. He was an eagle, but he was living with chicken, and he just got in the wrong paradigm, wrong conception, and this whole understanding of who he was limited him, and he died stupid. What else did we learn from this story? Yes, Mataji? You have to find good association, or your adequate association. Okay. Yes, Mataji? The same thing, yeah. So association actually builds you, and you become whom you associate with. That's very important in understanding how to advance and how to care for people. So the fact is that we have an amazing potential, and this potential is now not used Bhagavad Gita 2.29 says that soul is amazing. Asharyavat. Soul is amazing. And in the Purport Prabhupada explains how a little spark can move the body of an elephant. And we can see what people can do if they release their potential. So in caring for devotees, apart from feeding them with prasadam, that goes on. Out of 6 exchanges, feeding goes on. There is no lack of feeding. But what is lacking is guyam akyati prichati. Confidential conversations that build people, that help devotees to release their spiritual potential and any other potential that they might have. So in caring for devotees, we want to create questions, create conversations, have structured conversations so that they can find their way, find their dharma. We have been focusing on institution for so many years, 40 years, 50 years, 40 years. And now some of us can focus on individuals, how to help each and every devotee succeed, release their full potential of the body, mind, heart and spirit, based on the Bhagavad Gita as it is. This is the essence of Gita coaching. So if we have strong individuals who feel cared for and who care for others, we will have also caring communities. But also there is another initiative to form groups like Bhakti-tirtha groups or counselor groups with guides who are trained, who are really fired up to help devotees and develop caring communities. Now these things are going on in some parts of the world, and we can see how these communities are thriving. Any community that develops a devotee care program, they start to thrive in every possible way. Financially, emotionally, spiritually, in any way you can, in any way you want. So even from the managerial point of view, it pays off to invest in devotees and to provide better care and to help them find their way, find their dharma, find their calling, something that they really like to do for Krishna. Prabhupada in several letters he encourages that, and that so that they are very happy in Krishna consciousness. Sarve Sukhino Bhavantu. Srila Prabhupada said the mission of this movement that let everybody become happy, and what we are doing, we are making everyone happy except of ISKCON devotees. No, we have the direct connection to the internal potency of the Lord, which is Srimati Radharani, pleasure potency, and we manage to be frustrated and down and depressed even. Devotees go to psychologists and say, why do you go to a psychologist? Bhagavad Gita is the best therapy. And they say, I don't know how to use it. So they need guidance, they need your guidance. How to use the Gita to cure depression. Even more simple things you can use to cure depression. Please get up. I'll show you. You don't have to get up and do the flowers. Okay, raise your arms. Now in this position, like high, stretch yourself. Okay, turn around a little bit, please. This is just a warm-up exercise. Okay, now in this position, try your best, sincerely, to be frustrated. Sincerely. Or even if you're an expert in self-sabotage, try to be depressed. Try to be depressed. Okay, now, very gentle Swami step. Try to be even more depressed. Oh, you're such nice people. You don't know how to be depressed. There's so much in ignorance. Now, very softly chant Hare Krishna. Keep your hands like this. Keep Swami step and try to be even more frustrated. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, So from which New Age book I have got this trick? Can you guess? From which New Age book I have got this trick? You see? Look at the altar. Is Gordon Gordon has raised arms? So this is a very simple technique. I worked with devotee who was really depressed. I mean, you can say clinically depressed. And I said, raise your arms. How are you feeling now? So I feel very good. So why don't you do it? Well, I like to be depressed. So he was honest. He was honest that he likes self-sabotage. So it's very difficult just by changing. You know, they say motion brings emotion. There is one big success teacher. I told him, but we do this every morning. We move in the morning and, you know, immediately we dance. Of course, we don't dance always ecstatically in the morning, but this morning it was ecstatic. So, motion brings emotion. If just by moving your body and having certain posture, you can change the way you feel, how much you can change the way you feel if you change your paradigms and conceptions and how you think and absorb all these wonderful things that you get from preachers. Like today we got 2 lectures from our guests who filled us up so much with spiritual energy and inspiration, and it's so wonderful. I mean, this book that I saw that Mataji brought, it's so wonderful. I mean, how can you not love Krishna when you have these verses and these pictures? I mean, you have to be really stoned to not, you know, feel something for these wonderful, wonderful pictures in the book and Krishna. It's such wonderful colors. I mean, who can compete with us? Colors and smells and, I mean, senses are bombarded. And, you know, clothes and people hugging each other, smiling. So, my proposal is that we develop devotee care so much that this moment becomes irresistible. This should be our goal. Irresistible. This means when somebody comes, they never leave. What to speak of those who already joined? You have to bring everybody back. Somehow or other, by hook or by crook, by tricks or by cheats or whatever, by bribing, anything. Because Bhaktisiddhanta said, we spend gallons of blood to bring one person and then they go away. So this is not a good preaching strategy, you know. Bring so many people, but they go out the other door. We have to keep everyone. That's why these programs are very important. So this is described in the 5th canto, chapter 18, text 9. Prahlad Maharaj is praying that let all the envious persons become pacified by practicing Bhakti Yoga, because by practicing Bhakti Yoga they will think of each other's welfare. There is a long purport. I'm going to give classes in Washington 3 days on one verse, because there is a long purport that gives a load of principles for community. And we can learn. And few of the main points are that we have to give up envy. If we give up envy, we can care for others. Another is that to develop pure motives. To develop pure motives, like Nadanam najanam nasundarim kavitam va jagadisha kamaye mama janmani janmanishvare bhavatat bhaktiraha itukittvai. Give up all material motives. So Krishna has given us so much. We have the best books, we have the best festivals, we have the best music, we have the best food, we have nice temples, and now our program should be that every devotee should become happy. Every single devotee. If there is one devotee unhappy, you should feel pain. One devotee. So every devotee, every child, we don't tolerate unhappiness. Of course, it's a utopia a little bit, but at least we can aspire for this. Prabhupada said, shoot for the rhinoceros. So this is the impossible goal that we want to strive for. And if we strive for that goal, then I believe that we will achieve much more than we are achieving in making our devotees happy. So you have some experience, you're have been practicing for some years. Take one person, two persons, call them, ask them, how are you doing? How can I help you in achieving your goals, in setting your goals? And I can also teach you about Gita coaching. I can come next time and show you how to do it. This, how to get the most of one-to-one conversations. How to get the most for that devotee whom you are talking to or whom you are listening to. It's a very structured, focused association. It's not just spontaneous chat over prasadam. How are you doing? I'm okay. Haribol, Haribol. But it's just focused on your success. Now we are working on your goals so that you can make it and that you can become happy. It's very, very clear what is the goal of the association. It's not spontaneous. So in this way, I believe Prabhupada will be pleased, Bhakti-tirtha Maharaj will be pleased, Srimati Radharani will be pleased, because every devotee is precious. So few people are, most people who come to the material world, they don't want Krishna. They want to forget him. So we are trying to remember him, trying to serve him, and these people are so rare. So we have to keep every devotee. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Do we have any time for questions? Yeah, okay. Yes. Okay, do you have any questions? Yes. Oh, yes. Mataji. Chandra. Yeah. Structured conversation is like a coaching session where you exactly know what you are going to talk about and how you are going to talk about it. So I have different structures that I can give you, can use. One way how you can talk to someone about their life and their goals is that you ask them to give you questions they want you to ask them in the conversation. So they already think about what is important to them. They give you the questions, you ask sub-questions, you're interested, you're not doing it mechanically, and then you're discussing this either goal or a problem with them, but they already thought a little bit, okay, what is important, what shall I discuss, and the whole 1 hour that you have with them gets much more value to them than just having a spontaneous conversation. That's one way. Another is Gita model. My Gita model, coaching model, Gita is goal, inquiry, test, and action. I can send you the handbook, and everything is there, explained. And so I have many online materials. If any one of you want to know, I also have it on the stick. I have it on my laptop. You can copy everything. There is devotees like Padmanabh Prabhu in Harrisburg. He has everything I have, 160 gigabytes. So you can, if you go to Harrisburg or here, while I'm here 2 days, 2 more days, you can copy if you have a hard drive. All the materials. Also online, there is on the websites, Gita coaching courses recorded and audio, video. There is text. There is also coaching materials from professionals. So I can share everything, whatever devotees want. But this is really powerful because the value that devotee gets is much bigger when the conversation is like that.
What's your website?
My website. I can send it to you. It's a little bit long. It's part of the website of a devotee from California. It's called vedicilluminations.com/Gita coaching. But my website is not my main link. My main link is my blog, which is Gita Coaching blog. If you type Gita Coaching, it will be the first link on Google. It's blogspot.Gita Coaching or something / I don't know how it goes. Blogspot Gita Coaching. So there I have over 1,000 blogs. And you can find a lot of things about Gita Coaching, about personal improvement, leadership, devotee care, Even there is humor and music, so many things. Okay, any other question? Yes.
Yes, I was thinking of the point you just made, which was really nice, and I'm going to give it some thought in terms of ask the person what questions that you would want, well, ask them to give you questions that they want you to ask them. So then my question is, can you speak on the quality of listening and the mood of the response? Because sometimes I find in myself, and also may observe in others, particularly in the work that I do, that there may sometimes be a mood of trying to fix or guide or direct. So what is the consciousness of listening and giving that honors that interaction with the person?
Excellent question. I will give you a short story. Once there was a boy who was looking at the caterpillar trying to get out of the cocoon. And he got a pity on the poor caterpillar and wanted to help. So, he opened the cocoon, and the caterpillar had very small wings, and he couldn't fly for life. So the natural system is that he has to struggle in order to develop those wings. And then he can get out and fly. But if you accelerate that process, you actually do him disfavor, or no, opposite of favor. You don't help him. So the best way to help people is to help them help themselves, not to help them. If you help them, they become dependent on you too much or something like that. So the best way is to help them to help themselves, and you always try to engage them in helping themselves by first asking questions, by first asking them, have you thought about it? By first trying to engage them in solving this problem. Like, for example, if you come to me and you say, well, I have this problem, and I will say, did you think about how to solve it? And you would usually say, no, that's why I came to you. And I said, well, you want me to think for you? You don't have an intelligence or a brain? I have, but you're a senior devotee, you're experienced, you give me a solution. I say, no. Now you should write 10 ideas how you can solve this problem. And you see, they struggle a little bit, I push them a little bit, 3 ideas, 5 ideas, I got only 5, no, you have to do 10, and by 10 they are smiling. By 10 they are smiling. Because everybody likes to be capable. Everybody likes to be able to solve their own problems. It's not a kindergarten. So you help them by not giving solutions. By not helping them, you are helping them the best. But the thing is that you are not leaving them, you are there. You are there and telling them, now you do push-ups. I cannot do. Nobody has developed muscles by watching Schwarzenegger lift weights. You know what people do? It's so funny. They watch aerobics on the TV and eat chips and drink beer and say, one day I will also do it like this. And they get, like weight or something. So we have to help people, because if you believe that they are spirit souls, they are strong originally, then it will come up, their potential will come up. So one of the principles of Gita coaching is you believe in people. You believe in their potential. You believe that they are strong. You don't think they are weak. Tell every patient, you become a doctor. Soon, quickly. Then people will come to you. You will have patients. You will not be a patient anymore. This means learn how to solve this. Read in the Gita about anger and don't get angry anymore, like I'm now getting very angry. Because you become an expert on anger, you will be ashamed to get angry because you know so much where the anger is coming from. And then people will come to you that you solve the problem that you recently had. Isn't that better? Then having a patient for 25 years counseling, listening, and nothing, they don't move. You have to kick people. That's the best help. But you kick them like Bhakti-tirtha Swami. With love. He was kicking people, you know that? Experienced that? I did. But I liked it. So you do that like this. So the best way that you have and one of the most practical ways to do this is you ask questions. What do you think? Well, I cannot think, you think for me. No, you have to think. And then you have to think. That's so difficult to think. Okay? Okay, one more question and we can finish. Okay, so thank you very much for the opportunity to speak. And here, there is so many devotees who do wonderful things. I don't know the details of what all of you do, but I want to thank those who worked on this festival to make it happen. I want to thank those who worked on Bhakti-tirtha Swami's books because I benefited from them directly. I want to thank Mother Krishna Nandini and Prabhu? Tariq, for doing this amazing project of helping to build strong marriages in our movement with the Grihastha Vision team. I think this is really like a backbone of the building strong communities, and it's an amazing project. And I believe there is many more devotees who are doing wonderful things. But it's really my honor and pleasure to be in your association. Thank you very much.
Haribol. Haribol Akira Prabhu, thank you very much. Tagaranga. Haribol. So I was just reflecting on Mother Chintamani's question, given that I was thinking, how sweet question, Chintamani, knowing that you do this service every single day, asking questions. And I was really appreciating Akira Prabhu's answer for something that you already know. This is the mood of Srimati Radharani, always being humble. So thank you for your question. I also wanted to share that it's nice if devotees will see all the different devotees that are here that are offering classes. Mother Narayani, she's available. Mother Krishna Nandini is available. Akira Prabhu is available. And our Maharaj, His Holiness Bhakti Vasudev Maharaj, they will be all available throughout the rest of the festival. And so I'm sure that they will make themselves available for you to speak with them at any time. So please do that. Feel free to do that. I'm sure these devotees will really appreciate that. So we want to fill you in what's happening next. 6 o'clock we have the RT. And as we requested earlier, we asked everyone to please have a prayer to offer to Srimati Radharani or Gauranitai, Lord Nityananda, Lord Chaitanya, for our Nama Yagya that's coming up next. That's our next program after the RT. And the Nama Yagya is a yagya will be happening right here in the temple room, a fire yagya. And we have Brahma Muhurta, our own priest, has arrived. And we will do bhajans around the fire. We have our special guest, Advaita Acharya Prabhu, who just came from the Burning Man Festival. He will be leading us with some of his amazing bhajans. And we have other kirtaniyas that are here. We see some of them. Akira Prabhu himself seems like he's a kirtaniya. Heard you chant, it's very sweet. And there are many devotees that will be chanting during the fire yagya. And then we'll continue throughout the evening to let you know what is going on, how to make the offerings, and how to make your prayer and what we will do with the prayers once you make them. This is what's happening for the rest of the evening, and then the prayer is to be written. If you have a paper, just write your prayer to Lord Nityananda, Lord Chaitanya, or Srimati Radharani, or all three, and we will put, the baskets is here. So you put your prayer in the basket. We will have the yagya. As the yagya is going on, you will offer your prayer. We will take the prayer one by one and offer them to the feet of Srimati Radharani. And then we will invite the Kirtaniyas to lead us in this yagya. It's very auspicious. Narayani Mataji gave the class this morning about japa. And she, so much of her class was focused on the sacrificial altar. That japa is a way of offering ourselves, actually, on a sacrificial altar through the chanting of the holy name. So we will offer our prayer to the sacrificial altar, and that will close our day for this evening. And then we will have some light prasadam. Now, we have another surprise, and we will tell you the surprise this time only because maybe some of us might have a little challenge. Tomorrow morning, we are doing a special darshan for Radha Damodar. And what that darshan means, you get a chance, those are Brahminical initiated, to come on the altar tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock and bathe their lordships. So this will be their bathing that they have every day, every morning. But tomorrow morning, it's very special because Radharani is normally bathed before noon, usually at 10 o'clock in the morning, right, Mother Narayani? By 10, she's given her bath, and by 10, she's ready to get dressed and start her activities. So in order for us to facilitate many of the programs that are going on tomorrow, which is there will be another bathing ceremony for Shara Bihari, those deities will be arriving tomorrow morning, and they're the deities of our outreach community program in Harrisburg. So those deities will be we will also have an abhishek for those deities at 9:30 for all the devotees that did not get here at 6 o'clock in the morning, and for those devotees that are not Brahmin initiated. So everyone will get a chance tomorrow to bathe Radharani, one way or another. Either you bathe Radha Damodar or you bathe Sharbihari. And so we wanted to make that available in order just to facilitate all the other programs that are going on, because there's so many other programs. So 6 o'clock in the morning, please be here. If you're not a Mangal Arati, please be here at 6 to get this mercy. It's once a year special mercy. Then at 7 o'clock, Her Grace Krishnanandini Devi Dasi will be gracing us with the morning Radharani Radhastami class. This is our morning wherever you want to read it from, or it's your choice. It's our morning Radhastami class at 7 in the morning. After 7, after the class, we will have our regular Guru Puja for Srila Prabhupada. As we did this morning, Krishnandini led everyone down into the Samadhi. Somebody else will do that tomorrow morning. And we will have Guru Puja in the Samadhi for His Holiness Bhakti-tirtha Maharaj, and also all the other visiting gurus that's in the Samadhi right now. They're sitting in the Samadhi. And we invite you, if you didn't know, please, if you have a picture of your spiritual master, please put the picture in the Samadhi so we can worship your spiritual master tomorrow along with His Holiness Bhakti-tirtha Maharaj. So that will be done about somewhere around 8:15, somewhere like that, when Srila Prabhupada's program is finished. And then at 8:45, which is about 8:45, this is when we will have the darshan of their lordships, which is Radha Damodar, Radha Gopinath, and all the visiting deities that are here. So tomorrow we will not have darshan until between 8:45 and 9 o'clock in the morning. So please note that the schedule is changed, starting from 6 o'clock in the morning. We okay with that? Yeah? Okay, everybody on board? Should we do one of Akura Zaya Stretch. We're like, Herbo, we got it. It's in your program. And if you have any questions about why the program is like that, why is Radharani getting bathed at 6 o'clock in the morning, you can speak to Radharani. She's around. So you might want to go somewhere quiet. It's less 365 acres of land. And you can find a quiet spot and you can, Srimati Radharani, I need a darshan with you. I'm trying to understand what goes on in Gita Nagari and why it goes on like that. I'm sure throughout the day she'll reveal whatever is happening, because I don't know. Don't ask me. Yes, Narayani Devi.
For tomorrow's class,
for tomorrow morning's class at 10:30 about the deities, please bring a present for Radharani, a fruit, a flower, leaf, or water, or anything you like to bring to that class, and bring your japa beads. Haribo.
Okay, so Narayani's class tomorrow morning is building a personal relationship with the deities. How to pray to Srimati Radharani. I'm sorry that class is going to be after the Abhishek, after the 6 o'clock Abhishek. That's going to be right here. I was just joking about that. It's after, because we might have to pray to Radharani before that, so we could be here at 6 o'clock for the Abhishek. But anyway, Narayana will teach us how to pray to Srimati Radharani. So that's our program for this evening. Please be back for the Nama Yagya at 6:30. It will be very exciting. Thank you very much. Haribo. I think we're getting ready to greet their lordships. The coordinators, coordinator Jagannath Pandipuru.
Hare Krishna devotees, before you leave, give me a couple of minutes. I want to let you know that we have many opportunities for you to engage in service to Radharani in her kitchen, in the Prasadam hall, as well as a Prasadam serve out. So what we have here is a list 3 times a day, in the morning, afternoon, and evening. If you want to sign your name for each slot, there's a couple of slots, for people to sign in. And this is one way that you can actually put your meditation and service to Radharani in action. And as you're doing the service, please meditate on pleasing Radharani. So I'll have the sign-up sheet. It'll either be in my hands or at the registration table. And feel free to sign up. And we please sign up. we need your help to serve you nicely. Jai Hare Krishna.
Janavita Tavani